This is the tutorial on the new 20-sided die, and you'll notice that there's the critical fail, and on the opposite side of that will be the critical hit. There are 9 skulls, 6 hero shields and 3 enemy shields, but you'll notice that there are some icons that go along with each of the skulls. And these are for any modifiers to critical hits that you may introduce to the game. You could, for example, and we'll get to that in a moment, but you'll notice there are red lightning bolts and there are also yellow lightning bolts, red and yellow. So the red is negative and the yellow is positive. If you squint really, you'll see a little number on that skull. You don't need to know that number. See, the number of lightning bolts represents the plus or negative. So, for example, that's a normal skull. That there is a skull with 1 lightning bolt. So, if you've got a magical sword +1 to criticals, you'd get a critical if you rolled here or this +1. If you don't have any modifiers, it's just a normal skull. Same with this one. This is a +2 to critical hits. And there is a +3 somewhere. There. +3. So it will stand out from a distance. Same can be said if you've got a minus to critical hits. There's a skull with a red lightning bolt. So you should be able to tell from a distance. You don't have to squint in and see if there's a little number there. I added numbers, but that's more so for the learning phase, but you don't need them once you understand what's going on. The shields are the same. You've got a +1 to, like if you've got a magical shield, that gives you a +1 to critical defense. There's a +2 over there shield, and +3 is here. But on the bad side, if you've got a cursed magic shield that never leaves your hand, you've got a -1, a -2, and the -3 is somewhere. Where is the -3? There. Because it's got red shields. Now with the enemy shields, there is a normal one. There is a minus or +1. There is a yellow lightning bolt. And there's also a +2 somewhere, which is there. And you can use that for either plus or minus, but it's very rare that you'll need a negative effect on an enemy shield, but there might be a magical spell that you create in the future, or some artifact that you create just for an adventure that gives you a bonus. But that is the critical D20. And so from a glance, you'll know that that's enemy shield -3. Enemy skull -3, because it's color coordinated. It's very simple. And of course, with all dice, you get used to what's going on. And of course, if there's no modifiers, that's just a skull. That's a skull. That's a skull. So the modifiers are only for down the track. If you add magical items or magical spells that give you a bonus, or a particular boss that has a dreaded aura that makes you have bad luck in your rolling of attack or defense. And how you use what you use for critical hits is up to you. And critical fails, you could make it only for heroes. I personally use it for both heroes and enemies, so it's not overpowered. So if you get a critical hit, it's not instant death, because heroes would be on the receiving end of that too. That wouldn't be any good. So it's a small bonus to damage, but it's not overpowering. But this allows a goblin, for example, to still damage a barbarian in the best possible armor. He's rolling 60 defense against a goblin. The goblin can still get really lucky and cause a wound. And this helps, take the edge off some of these overpowered heroes. And I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. I'm utilizing it for my own HeroQuest rules that I'm creating called Legend Quest. And this will be how I use this is if, say, for example, the barbarian has 3 attacks, I'm not rolling 3 of these. Although I did get more, I bought more of them. They were rolling 1 of these plus 2 of the regular die, the regular HeroQuest die. With his 2 defense, he rolls 1 of these and a normal die. The wizard, for example, has got a dagger, which is 1. He's just going to roll this because it's the only thing he's got. And if you ever get these dice and you want to test it out without changing the rules, you can give a boss creature or a special cursed orc or cursed mummy, a mini boss, this sort of you can introduce it just for that battle if you're worried about introducing a new concept to the game. But I like the idea of it. I like the idea of being able to give out magical swords that are not overpowered, so a +1 or +2 to critical hits. It's not something that helps them every single battle. It's not something they can use strategically, but every now and then they're heroes. They're going to get a nice little bonus to their attack rolls. And instead of giving them a sword +1D to attack, that kind of makes them a little overpowered. They've got a 2-handed sword, which is normally 4D, +1 is 5D. It just makes them a little bit overpowered. This gives them a magical sword, feels good, sounds good, +1 or +2 or even +3 to critical hits. But it's a bonus that's not going to happen every single time. Now, in my particular rules, I have introduced new rules to which I'm writing and organizing. I've got new thief skills, and they'll be using the critical role for their particular individual skills. There's skills for turning the undead. Sorry, the light's in the way there. So lock picking, for example, if they pick the lock with a critical hit, that means they unlock it and peek inside the door with the door closed. Just little things like that. I'm adding more strategy to the game, so thieves can do sneaking and stuff like that. I know this is not part of the dice, but I love talking about this sort of stuff. And we've got lots and lots and lots of different rules and stuff. But yeah, that's the new 20-sided die. Got more. And let's see if we can get a critical hit. No, we've got a critical save. Shield with 3 yellow. So that's a critical save. Of course, I don't have any modifiers, so that's just a hero shield. Let's try it again. What's that at a glance? +1 to skull. Not really rolling it anyway. +2 to shields. Oh, that's a negative. Oh, that's an enemy shield. +1 or +2, depending on what the DM or Game Master suggests it is. So you can tell that's an enemy shield. Oh, sorry, that's a hero shield. -1 because it's a red lightning bolt. That's a, -3 if they're affected by a cursed magic item and a dread aura, and it's all compounding on them. But yeah, these are the 20-sided HeroQuest critical hit, critical fail dice. I will work on a better name because that's a bit too much.